Hello everybody and welcome back to another Vinyl Community Friday video. Today will be a haul. I know I'm doing my haul kind of early, but we haven't really got much else that's coming at the moment, so I might as well just do it today. So we have got quite a lot of stuff during the month of April and a lot of very exciting things because the record stores reopened last week, so I was able to go to one of my local record stores and I picked up a few things in the second-hand section, which is where I usually buy the majority of my albums. So I'll just start with the ones I got from that store because I got about 5 of them. So the first one I got was Never Forever by Kate Bush. This is one of the 3 Kate Bush albums that we had, and I thought I'd just decide to get this one because I love this album and we didn't have it yet, and they were selling this one for I think less than £10, so I just decided to get it because I know a lot of the songs on this album and I really love this album. We also have The Kick Inside and Hounds of Love, which are my other 2 favourite Kate Bush records. But this one is great and I'm kind of surprised that I didn't have it already, but they had this one in the store and they also had Lionheart, which when I go back I hope to get that one. But yeah, this is the first one. Next is one that I was telling you guys about in my March listens that I didn't have a copy of, but I actually managed to find a copy in the record store that I went to. So this is Camel's Music Inspired by the Snow Goose, and I spun this as soon as I got home because I was so excited to hear it on vinyl, and this copy is absolutely beautiful and it looks a bit kind of Very Good Plus on the sleeve, but the actual vinyl itself, the actual music sounds great and it sounds so beautiful on my turntable here, so it'll probably sound a lot better than the one downstairs. But this is a fantastic and beautiful instrumental album. It's kind of bordering classical composing, so it's going beyond the kind of progressive rock margin, but it is so great and I really recommend that one to anyone who wants to listen to some more instrumental prog, because there are a lot of albums out there that I love that are predominantly instrumental, like that one, the Fripp and Eno album No Pussyfooting, which is completely instrumental. There's plenty of others that I can't think of right now, but I do love my instrumentals. Next is Ram by Paul McCartney. Now this is one that my boyfriend got, but it's at home here because he doesn't have any space to put any of these albums and doesn't have a record player himself, so all the albums that he's going to decide to get will all be in this collection. But we listened to the first side of this. I'd actually not heard of this album, surprisingly, but we played one side of it when we got it and I actually really liked it, so I'll definitely be digging into more of that album because I did like what I heard. Next up we have another solo album. This is Peter Gabriel's first solo record, which I have not listened to yet, but it was only £12, so I just decided to get it. I knew a couple of the tracks on here, like, you know, Salisbury Hill and stuff like that, but this looks like it's going to be a great album. I mean, I love that track, but I've listened to some other stuff from this album and I really liked it, so I'm yet to play this one on vinyl, but I am excited because I am a Peter Gabriel fan. And lastly, from that record store, I got one of the Steve Howe solo records. This is just called the Steve Howe album. I've not listened to this one yet, but as you can see, it didn't cost too much. It cost £8. So I just decided to get it because, you know, I'm a big Yes fan, I'm a big Steve Howe fan, so I think that I will enjoy this and I will update you guys once I've listened to it. So moving on to the stuff we got off Discogs this month. Starting with the vinyl, we got Thrack by King Crimson. This is one of the 90s King Crimson records. It's funny because a lot of you guys are recommending me 80s King Crimson, which I've just completely brushed over for some reason, but me and my dad were watching a King Crimson interview from the 90s and there was some stuff from this album being played in the background and we just decided to get it because it sounded so good. And I think my favourite track on here is probably, oh, where is it? Walking on Air, that's it. That's such a beautiful song and I really like this album so far, so I'll listen to the rest of it at some point because, you know, I'm a big King Crimson fan, you know, where can they go wrong? Next up, I finally got a good copy of Drama by Yes. I actually really love this album. This is one of the first later Yes albums that I've heard. I think my cut-off point for a while was Going for the One. So listening to this one was actually really good, and it's a different lead singer, but I think it really works. I loved this album. I've listened to it a few times now. I listened to it on CD, and for the first time I heard it on CD, and the second time I listened to the vinyl version, and I really loved it. This is a great great album that I highly recommend. So this is one of the albums that I reviewed fairly recently. This is one of the Roger Waters solo records. This is Amused to Death. This was recommended to me by Johan. And I decided to just get the vinyl version because it was such a fantastic album and I really wanted to know how the album sounded on vinyl, because the actual download, the Spotify version where I heard it, sounded very bassy, so I'm kind of intrigued to hear this version. I haven't spun it yet, but I'm very much looking forward to it. This is one of the great double albums, I think. This is very good, and I recommend it to anyone out there who you kind of can't. I would say I recommend it to people who like Pink Floyd, but it's kind of a step away from Pink Floyd's vibe completely. But you know, if you are interested, definitely check it out, because I did a review of it and I really liked it. Next we have these, right, it's either Squack It or Squawk It. I'm gonna say Squack It. But this is the Chris Squire and Steve Hackett's collaboration album. This is A Life Within a Day, and this is so good. This was released in 2012, I believe, and this was actually quite hard to track down, so I'm kind of proud that me and my dad were able to find this. This is great. I really loved it, and you know, two of my favourite musicians, you know, Chris Squire and Steve Hackett, Chris Squire being one of my biggest inspirations for picking up the bass guitar in the first place. This was just fantastic to hear those two sounds kind of being blended together, and all the different ideas and everything. Musicianship, of course, is absolutely fantastic. We got this Tubular Bells box set in recently. This is just you know, remixed version of the album. It's got a 5.1 surround sound on it, so it's got the CD version and the vinyl version. If you're interested in a box set showcase on this, I'm happy to do it. I'm not sure where I actually found this. I think I was on YouTube and someone was doing like an unboxing for it or something. Or maybe it was on Discogs and I just found it. But this is very, very good, and it's got lots of good stuff in it. The book is so good. It kind of runs through the whole recording process of Tubular Bells, and I'm a big fan of that. Next up, we have the Aerosol Grey Machine, and this is by Van der Graaf Generator. This is one of their first albums, which I've listened to and I really, really do love. So this also, it has the vinyl version and also got CD versions. And it's got a 7-inch single in it as well. So yeah, this is a great record, and what else can I say? It's Van der Graaf Generator. I think this was released in the 60s, so yeah, 1969. So same year as in the Court of the Crimson King. Alright, so now that's all the vinyl stuff done, I'm going to move on to the CDs that I acquired this month. So the first stuff that I got the Kate Bush Remastered. As I mentioned before, I'm a big Kate Bush fan. It's dusty already. So this just includes some of her classic albums. I'll just show that to you now. I did a mini unboxing of this on my Instagram page, so you're welcome to check that out. But yeah, interesting front cover that, but this bit sadly got kind of bent in the post, so kind of sad. Next up, good thing this is being released on Friday, because on Friday it's my dad's birthday, so I'm just going to show you the gift that I got him. So I got him this. This is called Dick's Picks Volume 7, and this is at the Alexandra Palace in 1974. This is a Grateful Dead CD. My dad was at this concert, so that's why I got the CD version, because there wasn't a vinyl version, but I thought I'd get something that he was familiar with, so this will definitely take him back a few years. But yeah, it's just a very just live stuff of the Grateful Dead from this particular concert, or number of concerts. Next up, big Radiohead fan I am, so this is a collection of some of mainly my favourite Radiohead albums, and they're all in order. The only ones that are missing from here are In Rainbows and A Moon-Shaped Pool, which I've got both of them. I've got the In Rainbows box set that comes with the CD, so I didn't really need that one, but I've been storing them like this, so I'll take the box out and I'll kind of put it in like that and put that on my shelf like that, so I can actually kind of get them out a lot easier. They do look the same, you know, the spines look a little bit different to the original, but I kind of like the mini LP style of CDs. I think that the jewel case are a bit more sustainable, like if you dropped it, you know, they'll be less likely to get scratched, but if you drop one of the mini LPs, it kind of like falls out. what can you do? And lastly, this came in literally today, this morning. This is the Grateful Dead Beyond Description 19 studio / live stuff from 1973 to 1989. We've got the first one coming as well. I think that one's called the Golden Road. But that's like mid-60s to 1973, so that's like the early stuff. But this is the later stuff. One of the CDs is actually over there because I was listening to it earlier. But this is a really great set. It's similar setup to the Beatles one where it just kind of pulls out like that. And the ribbons as well. Comes with some very good books as well, some little CD-shaped books, which are very informative. Okay, so that is the end of the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. What have you guys acquired this month? Vinyl, CD, cassette, whatever? Let me know down below. Personally not a cassette collector. I mean, I've got a couple that have come in some boxes. I mean, I have the Stephen Wilson one that came in the Future Bites box set and the OK Computer one. But yeah, a couple of things before I love and leave you. If you guys haven't already picked up the new issue of Prog magazine, I'm actually featured in it. I got offered an interview by the lovely people at the Prog magazine company, so help them out, buy the magazine, you know, you can read the articles. There's always some really great stuff in their magazine. I mean, I don't really know if I need to tell you guys this because you probably already buy the magazine, but it's always great to discover new bands through them. I've discovered so much new stuff through Prog magazine and you guys as well. Secondly, I have started making monthly Spotify playlists for you guys to check out what I've been listening to in the months, because this has been so requested. I've seen this in the comments everywhere, on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. People have been asking me to create Spotify playlists for what I've been listening to in each month of the year. So I just decided yesterday to start filling them in. I've done January, February, March, but those aren't as scatty because I just went with what albums I was listening to at that point. So I just went back to my videos, looked at what I was listening to and picked out my favourite tracks from all the albums. But April's going to be a little bit different because I'm adding songs as I go along, so because it's more up to date, if that makes any sense. But if you guys use Spotify, you are welcome to check them out. There's always some interesting stuff on there. It's not just prog, there's all sorts on there. I mean, I added a New Order song there yesterday, so, you know, we've got all different types of music. I don't just listen to prog. But yeah, that is the end of the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Saturdays with Deb. Bye!